So some of you might be thinking, why don't you just leave his mouth just like this and give him a long upper lip and let it go at that. But I had a plan when I started, so I'm going to stick to it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to come down from this area that's is this big face area over here, this big wide area. Kind of draw some pencil lines down almost to the bottom. It's going to be the bottom of his, it's actually going to be his chin. And come back up to that area on the other side. We're going to make a little cut in here to kind of separate that bottom part of the face. Let's put a V cut on that line. Might even be better to just take your knife and follow the line and then work on it afterwards. So we're going to start taking that out. Preferably underneath up to that line. As we're going to take out quite a bit of this underneath. And it might not take a whole lot just to give it that look that I'm looking for. Just take a little bit out at a time here. Somebody's puppy needs a hug. We'll start taking some of this out underneath. Get a little wider here. Kind of scoop it off right underneath your line. Start at your line and scoop it out. Just a subtle little facial line. And it almost looks like a beard line. It could be a facial line, whatever you want to do with it. Just kind of going to scoop it out all the way around. You see that? here. Kind of reminds me of the cowpokes that I did several months ago. If y'all have seen my video on the cowpokes with the little cowboy hat, his face kind of reminds me of that. Okay. Still don't like the back of that head at all. It being such a long face, we're gonna end up with a long head in the back too. That's okay. Caricatures are meant to be what you want them to be. Alright guys, so here's your chance. You see the little line I've got drawn in here for his mouth. If you like the way it looks right now, then stop there and finish up his eyes and you'll be finished. But if you want to follow along with me, and either way is perfectly fine. I'm going to put a mouth in right here. I'm going to put a little V-cut in right here. I hope the glare is not too bad on this video. We've got some bright sunshine coming through today. It's right in my eyeballs. And I put some fabric, upholstery fabric, over top of my window to block out that glare. So we're still working on this mouth. So now you see we've got a mouth and we have an extra chin down there. Might have been better the other way, I don't know. That's all right. We'll give him a little bit higher on this one side, give him kind of a snarl. Go a little higher on one side of the mouth, on that upper lip. Does it look like a snarl? Maybe a little bit. Alright, and I have also drawn in some eyes up here. And I may give the eyes a fast forward once I get started. They might take just a little while. Alright guys, I'm going to have to sharpen here again. Be right back. Well, this little detail knife I got off of Amazon. I think I've talked about it in another video. The fact that it wouldn't or hasn't been sharpening as well as it did when I first started using it. And it doesn't sharpen like it did, but I've worked hard on it to try to correct that. It's been doing a little bit better lately. I know you guys probably can't see what I'm doing there, but I'm trying to keep that fat thumb out of the way. Okay, there's his eyes pretty much finished up. I'm gonna work on this nose a little bit now. We still got a flat spot on that nose. I'm also going to give this nose a little shape in here. Flatten that knife out. Flatten it out again, come down. Same thing on the other side. And straighten him up a little bit. You need this cut out on the nose a little bit farther. That's a little bit better. There we go. All right, I'm going to hit him with some Scotch-Brite now and see if we need to add anything to him. He's gotten dirty. Handled him a whole lot. All right, folks. So what I'm going to do now is draw in a little toboggan. I've decided I'm going to give him a little toboggan on here, or toque, or skull cap. That's what a lot of kids call it today. I'm going to kind of angle it back and give it an angle downward there towards the back of the head. Something like that. And we'll give him a little brim also on that. We'll come up about an eighth of an inch above that line. Make another line. All the way around. Give it kind of that folded area. Or these days they don't even fold them anymore. They just throw them on. They're already made to look that way. All right, so let's come down here and put a stop cut on that bottom line. Just a little. Coming up into it just a little bit. Just enough to give it a distinction. And I'll probably fast the video here, so, but we're just putting a little tiny stop cut on the line, cutting up into it. We'll cut up into it on the bottom line, and then we'll cut down to it on the top line, so it sticks out a little farther than the top of the hat. So also what you're going to do with, and I'm not going to show doing this, but you're going to take your little edges off. Just round off your little edges on your hat, on that brim, just so they're not a sharp angle. Take them off a little time, or you can take the tip of your knife and take them off like so. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to draw in some hair back here, and I'm going to give him a crazy big old ponytail looking thing. Why I don't know. That's just what because I don't like the back of his head for one thing. The head is kind of oddball shaped. I'm thinking this hair, we're gonna put him like a little bunny looking thing right here, man bun, and then maybe even a little more hair right here. Get a little wider at the bottom. Something like that. It might look something like this when we're finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut that angle back to the little bun looking thing right there. We're going to cut from the outside to the hair, from the ear side to the hair. Probably won't have to be super deep. We'll take that out. Careful at the brim of the hat, so you don't chip off part of your hat. Stop there and then put you another deeper stop cut in. Cut it off. Now let's put a little cut across here at the top and cut him out. Come around, and it could be a square. You can make whatever you want here. But on the bottom side of this bun looking thing, you don't want to go as deep, because the hair is going to come out the bottom side of it. Let's go on and cut this in. Let's cut it wide, and then we can cut it off if we don't like it. Cut it a little wider. Gonna So let's go around this little ball. Cut it out. Okay guys, so I am going to go ahead and take off some of this area on both sides. These jowls area. Just a little bit, because I want it ridiculously wide over here. That's what I was after. But I don't want it pointy. And one other thing is, if you look at him from the front, you start to see this area here that you don't want. So we'll cut this back as well a little bit. But let's just round this mouth area off. And if you'd like, you could take more off there. Could give him a nice, smooth, flat face. And I want him to look a little bit ridiculous. And I guess that's a caricature style. Take a little bit off back here. Work your way into that hairline. And that brim line. Okay, that's better. Still need to take some here. About time for a sharpening. Let's take a little bit more back here, guys. Take those pencil marks off. Give him some hair. And you can use your V-tool here, or maybe a different gouge. I like to just use my knife to make the hair. And you don't need many. You don't need many cuts. You can just to give it a look of hair. Like, see, I put what, four cuts. Do the same thing at the bottom. Be a little more tedious at what you're doing at the bottom, though. A little closer cuts on those V's. Okay, guys, I'm going to take him and get him painted, and then we'll show him back to you here at the end. A little bit of paint on him. Not going to be a whole lot. A lot of face paint, a lot of skin tone colors and toque color and a band back here on the back. I think Duke's about ready to go in and eat supper anyway. Aren't you, Doogie? You ready to go in? You ready to go in, buddy? You ready to go in, bud? I'm gonna go get something to eat.